behind the camera pointing at me. I have no idea what they want. What is it? Okay, fine. Go back in the control room, Michael, and sit down. We're with Harlan Ellison. The book is called Minefields, and you were talking about an interview that you had done with Steve McQueen.
Yeah, this is years
and that writing is a craft hard to learn.
Well, anybody can learn writing. I mean, really, writing is not that hard. I mean, if you look at the crap that Judith Krantz writes, you know that anything can write. What? I'm supposed to sit here and lie and say Judith Krantz is a great writer?
Well, I mean, but why would you have to just bring up Judith Krantz?
All right, I got others. No. How many do you want? No. How many do you want? I'll give you a list. No, I mean, you look at the stuff that woman writes. You know that Paramecium could write. Things that live in a petri dish could write. No, this is not. A woman's not a writer. She's a creative typist. What a hell of a dresser. The woman can dress like crazy. Look, I take writing very seriously.
I know you do.
And I think people who patchki around with it ought to have their fingers broken, you know, slam them in a piano.
Right. So Judith's fingers have figuratively now been smashed.
Listen, sometimes you get me here. I'll tell you why I'm never invited to Jeremy Tarcher and Sherry Lewis's house anymore. We used to be great friends. Yeah. Well, Judith Krantz is Jeremy Tarcher's sister. Oh. And I was there the night that she made some obscenely enormous amount of money for a paperback sale on one of her unspeakable books. and I unfortunately made a remark about it.
I'm sure you did.
That was the end of the dinner. I mean, she went, the penny went one way and she went the other. And
how many dinners in your lifetime have you ended with remark?
A number. I am seldom invited back. Roddy McDowell is the only person who's ever invited us back to dinner. He's a nice man.
He's a very nice man.
He's got a very high BS throreshold, apparently. But no, we eat at home a lot. Listen, I've been thrown out of 7-Elevens for Christ's sake. Anyhow, where were we? Oh, we were...
Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen. He was a remarkable guy, and I was assigned to do a piece on him. He had just shot Bullet.
Oh, sure.
The film Bullet. Yeah. And I was assigned to do a piece on him by one of the Hearst magazines, and we got to know each other. And he was very, very cautious guy to know, because he used to say, everybody tries to cap me. Everybody tries to, sum me up in a few words. Yeah. And I said I wouldn't do that. And he came to like me. He called me Huckleberry. I don't know why, but he liked to call me Huck. And we got pretty tight. And we wound up at one point. He had made an arrangement. It was the only time he went on television after he had done Wanted Dead or Alive. The only time he went back to TV was he did the Ed Sullivan Show. And Sullivan came out into the high desert. Steve had said he wanted to promote, Warner Bros. Wanted him to promote Bullet. He wanted to promote Solar, which was his production company that made dune buggies. And they said, okay, we'll combine them. We'll shoot it out in the high desert in the dune buggies. Right. And like that.
And then you'll plug Bullet at the same time.
Exactly. So we got out there, and it was bad. It was like 125 degrees, 130 degrees. Ed Sullivan had a colostomy bag, you know, and he had to keep changing his shirt. They had about 40 of these blue shirts that he wore, and they had to keep changing them every 15 minutes. And it was a real bad day. And at one point during the shooting, all of a sudden, McQueen stops, and he looks around, and he says, "What's that whirring sound?" And everybody goes, "What whirring sound?" What whirring sound? Nobody hears it all of it. I mean, we've heard it all afternoon. He heard it for the first time. And he walks over to one of the cameras. Warner Brothers had sent him crappy equipment.
Oh, the camera?
The camera was making the noise. And he was such a perfectionist, he would not allow it to be shot. There we are standing there in 120, 130 degree heat. Everybody's schwitzing and dying. Yeah. And he said, we got to get different cameras. Send back to L.A., get different cameras. The lesson I learned from that was that at some moment in an interview, or at some moment in writing a nonfiction piece, the truth will be revealed to you.
Exactly.
Through a peephole. You've done it in interviews. I've watched you all the time, man. You see through, and you suddenly see right to the heart of that person. You know exactly who they are. And in that instant, when he could have flayed some poor camera guy, he could have insulted the people who schlepped the equipment. He didn't. He took charge, man. He became the man.
The leader.
Absolutely. And he said, do this, and we will all go back to town. We'll go to my house. We'll sit in the cool till they come back. I want you to go to the airport, get a chopper, go get the cameras, come back. He had it all like, it was amazing.
Laid out. He laid it out.
Absolutely. And I said, this is the core of what this man is really like. Because a petty guy would have stomped his little foot like Barbara Streisand. Sorry. Sorry, another name out of the past. She owes me $18. I'm entitled. Woman stole $18 from me many years ago.
What do you mean she stole $18?
We both sang in the same club. Before she ever got her first gig in I Can Get It For Your Wholesale, we both sang for a living. And we passed the hat. When she would sing, I pass that. When I sang, she passed the hat. One night, she copped the hat. It was $18. Am I allowed to say the bitch? No, I'm not allowed to say it.
Don't come on.
Well, I was off camera. They didn't see it. I didn't.
Judith Krantz and Barbara Streisand. I'll tell you, when he slams them, he slams the biggest there are. Now, you have titled only 2 of these paintings, and one of them is the name that you have on your home in Los Angeles called Ellison Wonderland.
Yes.
Now, why was this called Ellison Wonderland?
Because I was hoping that they would give me that painting. I love that painting.
They being?
Well, Mr. Yerka has an agent, a lady who I understand is Polish, but who lives in Paris and pretends she's not Polish. And she gave the publisher a very hard time, saying, who is this Ellison fellow?
Yeah, right.
Why does we have his work? Jacek's work is great. Why we have to have these weird little stories? So,
with the notes.
To which I reply what my mother used to say to me, like a wolf with a goldfish, lady. And so I titled that one Ellison Wonderland, and then this one here, which is called Susan, because I wrote it about my wife.
About your wife. But now, like the Ellison Wonderland, where is the painting?
How the hell I know? I don't have it. You know what these things sell for?
No. Let me ask you a question.
Cowan's in the other room. Ask him. They're about 50 grand a piece.
You're kidding.
I haven't got that kind of money.
Does it look anything like this? No, does it look anything at all?
Yeah, it looks like, that's the pay. Where did you get that?
Well, but it looks something like that, right?
Yeah,
Go touch it. It's real. You can hold it. It's yours.
What are you saying?
I'm saying it's yours.
I can't afford this. What, out of your mind?
Did I ask for money? Gotcha. Gotcha.
Did you do this?
Well, Santa never tells how. We will continue with Harlan Ellison. Man, I've never seen this guy absolutely thunderstruck. In 20 years of broadcasting, I got him. Nailed him. We'll be right back after these messages.
You're kidding.
I wouldn't kid you, pal.
This is mine?
It's yours.